All right. Speaking of decks on the website, I think if we have an okay set with this today, this is one I'm going to get added up there. I love having a bunch of different tribal decks up there. There tend to be a blast to play these small creature aggro decks, and this is one we played a variation of before that felt reasonable. This is almost card for card, a deck list from the third Hoaglandia Open that did pretty well. We gave one of the Sweet Deck Awards to a Mardu Humans variation. So we've got Hero of the Precinct One here. It says whenever you cast a multicolored spell, you get a 1/1 white human creature token. And then we've got General Kudro, Judith, and Tajic here as good multicolored 3-cost things to curve into. We've got General's Enforcer here, which can protect our various legendary 3-drops. And then we've got Heroic Reinforcements here at the top of our curve, which really gives us a lot of punch. This card's especially good with Hero in play, because if you have just Hero on the board and you cast Heroic Reinforcements, you get to attack for 9, because Hero will be a 3/3, it'll make a 1/1, this will make a 1/1, then they'll pump up to 2/2s. We've got some non-multicolored cards in the 1-drop slot because there are other humans that are good to curve out with. And then we've got 4 copies of main deck Dire Tactics here, which is honestly probably one of the best removal spells in the format if you have the humans to make it not have a drawback. Both getting to exile and killing anything for 2 mana is huge. Well, to be fair, Labberdays, formats like Historic and non-rotating formats in general tend to have less extreme changes than Standard over time. And Magic's Mutate falling off, for example, is one of the many highlights of Standard just turning rancid pretty quickly, more than anything. I don't think those cards are good, Misfortune. I don't think those cards solve problems that we're having. I really have not been impressed with Meddling Mage in this format. I'm gonna lead on this on 1. Get my 2/1 played out. Will Mutate be playable after rotation? If I could predict the future, I would start with finding out when my daughter is going to be born. Growth Chamber Guardian, you say? Do I want to wait to Giant Killer something? Huh? I don't think so. I think I just want to use my mana here. Like, next turn I get to play Judith, and the following turn I can Heroic Reinforcements. Judith is sweet because she... What the... I was gonna pretend this match didn't happen and go to the next one. Rather than playing through that. So what I was going to say is, Judith is sweet because she lets our 3-power 1-drop attack into their 4-defense creature, because if they blocked my 3-power 1-drop, Judith's trigger would deal an extra damage to it. So just to both be fair to Arena, but then also give a piece of feedback, enable gameplay warnings is something I've had turned off, and I'm going to toggle that back on, so it asks me for confirmations from now on. That being said, the reason why I went to click there was because I wanted to go to combat and attack with it, and one of the things I think Magic Arena does very poorly that's different from Magic Online in a bad way is that on Magic Online, when you press your F6 auto pass hotkey, the client still stops during your combat, and Arena doesn't do that. When I press my auto pass button, I should still get a prompt for combat, like Magic Online does. I think Magic Online handles that better than this application does. Thanks for the title poke, you got me. Yeah, I'm gonna do some more True and Terror at the end of today's stream. I think that's probably gonna be my schedule when I come back from baby leave. I'm not putting it on my calendar every day because if Christy's not feeling well or there's stuff going on, I'm not going to get to Runeterra every day before Haley gets here. But I think post baby break, my plan is to do 2 to 3 Magic decks a day and then some Runeterra at the end. Variety's the spice of life and all that jazz. Thanks, Blood Moon. I appreciate the support. Zekdan, thanks for the 20 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And Blood Moon, thanks for the quarter of a year. Visceral, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome to Oglandia. Oh, they plus the stupid Teferi, huh? Instant speed sweepers are just one of the many things that have made aggressive decks much worse in Magic the Gathering since this card was printed. Very, very frustrating. We just can't win anymore because they have Field of the Dead. Dire Tactics out. Kitesail Freebooter in. Giant Killer. Yeah, or like, at least if it was Settle, we'd have meaningful decisions about what we want to play around and when, right? We would actually Settle. Settle, I think, is actually a really sweet design because it's a sweeper that offers counterplay and decision making. I'm gonna bring in a couple of Lurrus here as a way to play through their sweepers a little bit. Both the pay-to-play and the free-to-play on Runeterra is so incredibly generous. It's really, really well done. It's refreshing how not predatory it is. You expected Riot of all companies to be really predatory. Why is that? That doesn't sound like something based in reality. Like, Riot was one of the people that innovated games. Riot was one of the folks that innovated monetizing their games via cosmetics, right? And monetizing your games via cosmetics is the least predatory way possible to monetize your games. I think I'm just doing this now and smacking them. Need to try and kill them before these Field of the Deads get online. TF2 was pre-Riot in that regard. You had to buy TF2 though, right? TF2 wasn't originally free to play. Did TF2 turn free to play before League of Legends happened though? I don't actually know the timeline on that. Are they dead to this? They go block, block, block. They take 8, 9. I think I just want to put more on the board before I do this. I'm 100% sure League of Legends was free before TF2 switched. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely paid money for... I definitely paid money for TF2 once upon a time. One of the biggest complaints in early League was the pricing system. Newest champions were the most expensive and were being overtuned for a month to encourage people to spend money before nerfs to the point where it was a meme in the community. Okay, see that sounds not good. So that doesn't sound ideal. I just cards on the table. I'm deferring to chat and asking for timelines and stuff because I've never played League of Legends. So I am not familiar. Magic is not pay to win. And I think people who describe, if you think Magic the Gathering is pay to win, then that means sports like golf and football are also pay to win because you can't compete in those games without buying equipment. Magic is pay to compete. It is not pay to win. And then this means, well, Jeff, what does pay to win mean? In my opinion, a game is pay to win if a person who has spent more money always has a better chance of winning. And if you need a really good example of spending more money doesn't mean you win more in Magic, go find someone with a foil modern Jund deck and ask them what their win rate is in competitive settings. The raid PvP is a good example of pay to win. The PB, while you can make up for it with playing well and making good decisions, the arena in Raid, almost assuredly, if you've spent more money, you're going to win more. Alright, I think we Kitesail Freebooter here to try and spot check for a Teferi before it happens. They have Deputy of Detention though. Feels bad, man. I feel personally attacked by that Jund comment. Good, you should. Yes, yeah, I think that's a good summary, Turtle Man. People think Magic being expensive means it's pay to win when that's not the case. Magic's definitely not cheap, but it's also definitely not pay to win. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. Alright, so the General's Enforcer's an interesting draw. So do I play Kudro and smash for 8, or do I go Hero Enforcer? I think I go Hero Enforcer and go wide here. This is impressive, Auto Tapper. Go home, Auto Tapper, you're drunk. Oh, you know what? I should technically attack before playing my cards out here. This is a mistake on my part. They can double block this now and kill it. I believe the Dire Tactics card style was linked to the Mastery Pass for this season. Oh, Enforcer makes it not die. Yeah, that's true. That's super true. Are they about to settle my wreckage? Definitely. I don't know, definitely. They had Escape Shift in their hand, so like I don't know that I could really afford to play around that, so like a land off of putting a bunch of zombies in play that I can't attack through then. Yeah, let's draw like a 2 and a 3, huh? Think it'll be fine. Is there a Runeterra segment after this deck? I believe so. I'm double checking with my boss right now to make sure that's okay. Perfect. Just want to draw 2-drop next turn. 1-drop, another 1-drop would also be fine. It's our best draw, like Hero. Perfect. You're playing Jeskai Ultimatum after the bans, and it's felt good. Yeah, I mean, I think that deck, like, the bans didn't really change much in Historic. Or are you talking about in Standard? I think we played that archetype in Standard, too. Are they dead? I need a hero. You know, it's gonna sound really trivial, but one of the things I actually don't like about Runeterra and other digital card games, not being able to reorder the cards in your hand as a twitchy Magic player is such a letdown. Like even digitally, I just like need something to fiddle with down here at the bottom of the screen while I'm thinking. It's like I just very idly, I just need to like flick something. Like even in the digital game, I just need to be like flick, 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 flick. It gets me every time I try. Like if you watch me play Runeterra, you'll watch me try to flick things. It's just like, oh no, they don't move. I think we board like we boarded against the last kind of controlling deck. We're going to cut the giant killers and the dire tactics. We're going to board in Kitesail Freebooters, a couple of Lurrus, and a couple of Thalia. They know I'm annoying and they're forcing me to stop. Oh no. This is fine. We don't have that many 1-drops post-board. When you board in Frenzy against the non-ramp control decks, Esper, Jeskai, stuff like that, I think Frenzy is too slow against these Field of the Dead decks. Tajic is an excellent draw here. Gets to nail Teferi. Is Tajic nailing Teferi a Wizards approved storyline? Probably not. Definitely fan approved. Almost assuredly. Well, no chump block there seems to imply they're not going to sweep next turn. So let's go Hero into Enforcer, and then next turn we can drop Judy. The nice thing about adding these to the board here is that even if they sweep, Tajic will live because it's currently indestructible from this. Tajic and Teferi are both good-looking dudes, aren't they? That'd be a pretty reasonable DNA mix. Chat, I've been hurt by Settle the Wreckage recently. I've been hurt by Settle the Wreckage recently, and I don't know how to feel. I think I'm leaving, at the very least, Enforcer back. What if I do this? I think I want to leave Enforcer back. Enforcer plus Judy plus reinforcements is a pretty reasonable. I'm on a 2-turn clock regardless. Does anyone know if there's a way to get rid of ad rolls, get rid of all ads on Twitch? Yeah, there's a thing called Twitch Turbo, Captain. I'm pretty sure Twitch Turbo still exists. I believe it's like $10 a month, and it gets rid of all ads on the platform. I'm pretty sure Turbo is still a thing. Yeah, Kaiser's got it there. I think it's $10 a month. It gets rid of all ads on the platform for you. Companion change being relevant here. They couldn't just play Yorion out, which is a big deal. I need a hero. Do 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 do. So they block a 4-power creature here. They take 13. They could go to 1 here, but then Judith triggers can kill them. They changed Twitch Prime removing ads. Twitch Prime does not remove ads anymore. Feels like they're going to have just enough interaction to get over this game. So, apparently, with Twitch Prime, unlike subscribers, so when I, on my channel, turn off Twitch ads for my subs, it just doesn't show you ads, and I don't get paid for them. But that's okay. I don't need to make ad pennies off of my subs because you already support me plenty. But with Twitch Prime was not showing people with Twitch Prime ads, but it was still paying for the ads. And Twitch Turbo does that too. So if you have Twitch Turbo and a streamer runs an ad, you don't see the ad, but the streamer still gets paid as though you watched an ad. And Twitch Prime was working the same way. And apparently, we're just not beating this arrow, and apparently they were losing money on that. Because Twitch Prime already has all the other miscellaneous benefits included with it. Also, and this is so, I run the 3-minute ad break during my between decks anyways, but there's actually a benefit for doing that too, because I manually run an ad break. When I manually run that 3-minute ad break for the next 43 minutes, people that are new coming into the stream that aren't subbed don't get a pre-roll ad, which is actually pretty good design. So like Twitch kind of encourages you to put your ads during your downtime. I think I'm going to keep our sideboard plan. So that way new people coming in don't get disrupted right when they're coming in and you're doing like, so I run ads during my breaks because it's part of my F2K contract, but because Twitch did that change, I think I would probably keep doing them even if I wasn't a part of F2K. Because being able to disable pre-roll ads for that time period for non-subs is valuable. What are the benefits for F2K? So, and I don't know all of the back end because I'm not privy to their contracts, but my understanding is some of the money F2K pays me comes from Twitch. So they have an agreement with Twitch that their people on F2K will run a certain number of ads. Because obviously running ads also makes money for Twitch. So, it's fun thing, JMK, and this is good to know too. Streamers actually cannot disable ads altogether on their channel. So they can not run ads during the stream, but you can't just straight up disable pre-roll ads for everyone, because that's part of how Twitch makes money. Thomas, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome. All right, with Freebooter here, do I Freebooter here on tour or do I hero? I think I hero and just start pressuring them. This is a seal away turn. Feels like a seal away turn. Nailed it. Yeah, that's true. Most reasonable people disable all adverts for their subs, which you should do. Speaking as someone that sees the amount of money ad rolls make, like, ads don't make a significant portion of income. Like, you have to, like, be in the range of, like, I don't know, probably, like, 3, 4, 5,000 plus concurrent viewers where you could, like, make a reasonable living off of just what adverts get run. Without sub revenue. I get shattered and cry here. Maybe I'm supposed to kite sail. Yeah, I agree, Captain. And I do the same thing. It really bothers me that a lot of streamers can't do the bare minimum of, like, it surprises me how many people don't even bother to list the format they're playing in their stream title. Like, sure, if you're someone who changes decks a lot, I guess I'm not gonna really fault you if you don't update the stream title every time you change decks, but like, for the love of God, at least put historic, or standard, or draft, or whatever it is in your stream title. Yeah, some people's contracts, like people that remember, part of the reason why I left Tempo Storm was because Tempo Storm wanted me to play 6 minutes of ads per hour on my channel, and I told them that was not okay. The end result was us parting ways. 6 minutes per hour is a volume where, like, you can't realistically hit without skipping content. Yeah, like transparency. My contract with F2K is 2 minutes of ads per hour, which basically means since I play a deck for 90 minutes, I roll a 3-minute ad every 90 minutes or so, and it works out really well with my structure because I have some downtime every 90-ish minutes anyways. This is like exactly what we wanted here. Just wanted a 2-drop. Jeff Oakland by far has the best quality Magic stream I've ever been to. Not close. I'm definitely not, and I'm aware of my abilities as a player and stuff like that. Certainly not the best player in the world, but I think in terms of organization, I definitely knock it out of the park. Yeah, I have a countdown on my side of the thing, so like, I know, and sometimes you'll hear me mention, okay, we're gonna start in, 30 seconds when the ad roll finishes, because sometimes it doesn't take me 3 minutes to do all my in-between deck stuff. Why do you call MTGO Moto? Because Moto was the original name for MTGO. It stands for Magic Online with Digital Objects. To date myself a little bit, the first time I installed Magic the Gathering Online, I did it on a dial-up modem. I remember quite vividly assuring my mother that my download would be finished in just a couple of minutes for several hours. Oh no! Oh no! Oh honey. Reading is busted, chat. Reading is busted. They did gain a life. They did gain one. Also, opponent has main deck Noxious Graspier. It's an interesting decision. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Shatter me. Listen, speaking as someone who's done exactly what this opponent just did on stream on more than one occasion, I empathize with the opponent. I'm going to have them dead on board next turn anyway, so I am going to kill the Teferi here, I think. Make them sweep at sorcery speed. Someone was asking earlier what matchup is the Experimental Frenzy for. It's for this matchup. Lurrus is here not as a companion, but as a value card. We're going to cut Giant Killers and Dire Tactics. We'll board in these Thalias and these Freebooters. What else do I want to trim here? Is it crazy to cut General? I guess General's good with the Enforcer. Maybe I trim the Skyknight Vanguard because it's another 2-drop, and I'm bringing in a bunch of 2-drops. Keeps my curve relatively okay. Do you think we've gotten more text overload in recent years in terms of Magic cards and their interactions, or am I just getting old? Listen, As someone who's recently acquired a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh cards to attempt to play with his children, Magic cards have very small text boxes, and no Magic card ever printed is a big deal. I turned enable gameplay warnings back on after I accidentally sacrificed my Dauntless Bodyguard earlier. Yes, yeah, in your gameplay settings, you can disable the gameplay warnings. What are spells? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more. Whoa, whoa, whoa. At least Magic text has a semblance of paragraph structure, whereas Yu-Gi-Oh cards look like one giant run-on sentence. I mean, if Yu-Gi-Oh cards had paragraph structure, the rules text wouldn't fit on their cards. Chains of Mephistopheles is just wordy because it's basically a flowchart. If you're reading Chains of Mephistopheles and you're not sure what it does, Google Chains flowchart. It's very straightforward.
Sorry I'm late. Let's try this.
Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't keyword things. Weird. It's a decision. Twitch wouldn't let me paste the full card text. That's great.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Explain to me how to resolve my draw step when I have a Life from the Loam in the graveyard, a Sylvan Library, my opponent has the chains in play. You don't resolve anything because they're all replacement effects. Checkmate. That's not true. Sylvan Library is a trigger, but still, you know, most of them are replacement effects.
I am not making this up as I go. I know my responsibility.
Whenever talking about rotation faster in Standard comes up, you can always tell the people that just like don't understand how Standard works. Because they're like, well, if rotation happens more often, I have to buy more cards. It's like, y'all buy cards anyway, so like, don't act like you're not already buying cards. It's very silly. Chris, 24 months is a long time. Mount your mighty steed. Fatal Aggro, thanks for the 2 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. This hand's very good. Has 2 of our grindy cards here to help recover from sweepers if we can't run them down. How dare you tell me the truth about my spending habits, right? That's a phenomenal draw. Do you have a discard spell? A discard spell? A discard spell? Looks like they have a discard spell. Do 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 do. I think we're playing a 3-drop next turn regardless, so if they take one of these, we'll play the other. Trigger the hero. They could just have a removal spell here too. It's my money and I'll throw it in the fire if I want to. Listen, you should spend your money on things you enjoy, chat. You're a responsible adult. It's fine to have a budget and to have that budget include spending money for your hobbies. Just, you know, make sure your life necessities are taken care of. Put a roof over your head. Feed your kids. What do you think of M21 so far? You can always find the exclamation point spoilers command in chat. My toddler wouldn't eat if I pay her. I love that my children love things now because it's been so much easier to get my 5 and 6-year-old to eat since they now understand, like, okay, you're gonna eat this pizza for lunch or you're just, like, done watching TV for the day. And they just, like, snap right up and eat that pizza. All right, you're gonna eat the chicken lines I just made or you're done playing Nintendo Switch. All right, good. We're good. We're going to eat now. Excellent.
You need to take a time out.
Once they understand bargaining, life reopens for it. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Well, we had a very good hand, and then we got Thought Erasured into Cry of the Canarium, and we died. Jake is super cute because he really he negotiates when you tell him something. So he's extra funny. When I tell Jake to eat, his negotiation is usually he tells me he wants to do it later. So I've started telling him he needs to eat before I put the pizza in the oven. So that way I'm like, all right, Jake, you're going to eat pizza. And he goes, I'll eat pizza later, deal? And I'm like, yes, in 10 minutes you will eat pizza, deal. And then he comes and he keeps his end of the bargain, his promise. It's excellent. Oh, I can't. I've said this to Christy before too. Like, my kids are so lucky that they're going to grow up with parents that understand that they actually can't pause some of their games. Now, the flip side of that is I'm also going to understand when they are playing a game that they can pause. Smite-a-lore, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. Keeping me around. Those sweet shillings while also giving Jeff 1/7 the burrito. Thanks, Sunshine. Are we just giant killing this? Hey, thanks for the sub gift to Sunshine. Farm them. Farm them shillings. Perfect. Huh? I think I'm just playing General here. Because he's indestructible, so I can attack with the Enforcer now, and then he holds down the board. My parents knew which games could and couldn't be paused. It helps that family night was raid night on WoW. God bless. Yeah, like people always, these types of creature mirrors often have a lot of decision points in them. A lot of back and forth. So with the land draw here, I think I'm actually just like I think I'm actually just like killing this and then playing out my 1-2, my 2-3. Runeterra was great. Is great, by the way. Thanks for the recommendation. It was more fun than Standard Magic. Runeterra is better than Standard to set an exceedingly low bar. And in fact, my boss just approved doing some Runeterra, so we're going to wrap up on Runeterra today. If you're someone that's enjoyed that content from me. So it's not strictly that creature mirrors tend to be sweet, so much that aggressive mirrors tend to be sweet in my experience. The conversation with my boss is generally, do you feel like a small parasite is going to force its way out of you sometime soon? If no, I'm going to stream for a little bit more. This is indestructible, thanks to the Enforcer here. Just really gumming up the ground nicely. If I tap this, they die. Great. Exactly dead. Block, block, take 10. So, Redcap Melee sounds great here. I think this is probably a Tajic out matchup. While its alt text is okay here, I think in general I want to drag my curve down a bit. I'm going to pull 1 heroic reinforcements for the same reason. Although I guess the legendary... Would I rather cut Tajic or would I rather cut Skyknight Vanguard? The fact that this is indestructible with General's Enforcer seems really good. Yeah, maybe I'd rather keep Tajic. Skyknight Vanguard. Here's a question. Is Lurrus good in this matchup? Is this potentially better than heroic reinforcements? It has lifelink. It recasts these 16 things. I don't think I hate this, especially on the draw. Let's try this. Mountain with dire tactics sucks a little bit, but if we draw a land, this hand's very good. Perfect. Am I giant killing on 1? Probably not. Redcap's a sweet pickup here because it means next turn I can Dire Tactics plus Redcap to kill 2 things. Kind of just want them to play like Questing Beast here. Looking to fade Stomp and Domri's Ambush. Okay, so we go to 12. Definitely need to play a removal spell this turn. This is a matchup where Giant Killer is quite excellent. Hey. That's so good for us. Deal. Yeah, the one of reinforcements looking pretty okay. To be fair, Lurrus would also be a great draw in this spot, right? Like, Lurrus would also probably lock the game up. I don't plan to block this anyways. Just get in for 3 here. If they want to trade these for this, that's fine, because it turns off Embercleave. They block 3, 6, 8, take 10. They have to full jump block. Is that worth it? I die. Do I want to die to a haste creature or a bone crusher giant? I think that's right. If I hold back a creature, I'm still dead to Bone Crusher Giant, but then I'm not dead to Zerta Goblin, still dead to Gruul Spellbreaker, still dead to Questing Beast. Like this, holding this back plays around like exactly Zerta Goblin. Also, not attacking means they can Embercleave me, so I die to that. I think I'm supposed to attack with everything. Attacking with everything forces them to triple chump, and then Embercleave's not out. We could die here, but I think based on the permutations of what could happen, because Bone Crusher will shock us. Everybody says. Yeah, it's a real shame Giant Killer can't tap on their turn. But you block 2 damage. No, my token would only be a 1/1 on their turn. Not only would my token only be a 1/1 on their turn, but they would have an extra Land War Elf, so I'd still die. Yeah, and that's a good example. Like, you know, just because you make good decisions doesn't mean you win the game. I think I'm pretty happy with the choices I make there. Hold back the 1/2. Sure. It's fine. Enforcer into General's pretty good here. Opponent mulligans, you'll love to see it. I think I just want a General here and smack them back being on the play. This is worse against Red Domri's ambush though. Yeah, Enforcer's a genuinely good Magic card. Unfortunately, we don't have a second red here. Gonna get destroyed by Embercleave. I'm not dead yet. Thanks for the 3/4 of a year, Apollo. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Brick. Brick! I agree, Apollo. Player agency and decisions inside of games are the things that are paramount to having good gameplay. It's been tough trying to get that out of Magic lately for me. And part of it's definitely the decks that we're playing, but another part of it feels like how cards are designed in recent years too. I think definitely bears part of the blame. I think taking in fewer viewer deck submissions. I'm interested to see what my numbers look like if I take in fewer viewer decks, but I feel like the way the formats have changed in recent memory, Magic's become less kind to playing B-list decks recently. Oh, is this Martin Yuza? I wonder, he often streams. Might be able to watch this from both sides. If he is streaming, someone in chat can feel free to link his Twitch channel. Obviously, don't tell me cards that are in his hand, but I know players often like to watch matches like this from both sides. They're not streaming. Okay. Probably Nexus of Fate. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I believe this is exactly lethal with the Mentor. Howdy's crafted. Alright, do I just put them on Nexus of Fate? I think I just put them on Nexus of Fate, right? We board in Freebooter and Thalia. This deck is very good in the Historic Shakeup event. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, this deck doesn't have anything banned, right? Yeah, smells like Nexus. A pretty okay start here. We'd love to draw one of our 3 mana plays next turn. Any 3 or 2 mana play would be great. Thalia or Kitesail Freebooter would be great as a little bit of disruption. I guess Thalia's not ideal because it would put heroic reinforcements back a turn. Kitesail Freebooter or Hero of the Precinct One would be great draws in addition to 3 drops. General Kudro. Let's do it. Go! Go, my minions, go! Alright, play a Tamiyo and die. Be kind of surprised if they die here. Yeah, expecting some kind of fog or counterspell. Our curve was very good in both of these games. Yep. Opponent's deck doesn't contain any traditional sweepers in it. So we're just going to play out a bunch of humans next turn and exile stuff from their bin to keep their search from as Canton for flipping. I guess that's assuming we get a next turn. They could theoretically take all the turns from this position. Pretty unlikely for that to be the case, though. They don't have any sustained source of card advantage in play yet. Up to 5 cards in the bin now. Getting close to flipping this. They take 2 turns here. They could flip Azcanta. No flip. Alright. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, attack for lethal. Alright. Sometimes they don't have it. It's Epiq. Thanks for the 13 months. Have a sword while you're lurking. I appreciate the continued support. Welcome back. Alistair Stone, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. I appreciate it. Morning, folks. Happy Sunday. Almost afternoon. Almost afternoon. I don't know about better than the MPL. Maybe a little bit luckier on occasion sometimes. This hand's very good, and we're on the draw here, so hopefully, hopefully we'll be able to curve out nicely. Perfect. Is this Chris Kavardik? Or is that, is his name spelled differently? Ooh, someone playing the Dredge deck at any rate. It is not. Kavar. Yeah, I thought I couldn't remember how his name was spelled. This is Krivatek. Do I want to offer this trade? I think I do before I play Tajic. Yeah, and like matches like that one we just played against Nexus are why it's very easy for Nexus to feel better than it actually is. Because when you win with Nexus, you spend a lot of time winning, and when you lose very quickly. Predictions on when a majority of OP from Wizards is Standard, Historic, and Pioneer on MTGA as soon as they have an official spectator client. In fact, to strap my officially Wizard-sanctioned liability hat on for a moment, the fact that we're going to have a Pro Tour on Arena next weekend, and we don't have a spectator client yet, is incredibly embarrassing. I'm not sure if that's lethal. Thankfully, it's not my job to figure it out. Things that are not my job to worry about. Figuring out that. This is a giant killer matchup. I guess Fiend Artisan can kind of be large. And I guess I don't really love anything in my sideboard. Am I just clicking submit here? I think I'm just clicking submit here. Oh yeah, it kills Croxa too. Needs a black source, obviously, but hand's really good if it goes 2, 3, 4. Large, Brandon. Thanks for shipping your Prime this way again. Welcome back. Secrets manifest themselves before you. This is just a fun card. It gives me memories of, remember when the White Weenie deck with this card at the top end was one of the best decks in Standard? Really loved that point of time in Magic. Gives me warm fuzzies as a throwback back to that. Yeah, I agree, Wasatch Warrior. I really hope that we get something fast lands or pain lands in M21. Really hope that is the mana base they give us. Whew! Almost feel bad. Hannibal, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, for allied fast lands could use a reprint. I'm not sure if you're serious about filter lands or not, but those cards are god-awful. So I'm gonna hero here. And I'm gonna Dire Tactics this, and I'm gonna hit them for 1. They are gonna get to escape a Croxa, but I'm gonna get to Heroic Reinforcements and kill them next turn if they do that. Yeah, I can't even fathom what the auto tapper would look like with filter lands. That sounds truly heinous. Filter lands suck in 3-color decks, and past sucking in 3-color decks, filter lands are also tedious to tap digitally. And filter lands aren't good for aggro decks. I would like if they continue to make mana better for aggro decks in Historic. That's really one of the defining factors between aggro and standard and aggro and Historic, is aggro and Historic has much better mana. Alright, let's play one more with this one before we do a wrap up. I'd like a pretty reasonable set, all things considered. The games we played against Teferi kind of sucked, but the rest of the games have been good. Does that describe Magic for the last year? The games we played against Teferi kind of sucked, but the rest of them were good. Feels Magic, man. It feels like Teferi's been around for 2 years, doesn't it? I promise you, Teferi has only been legal for about a year. Is this the same person we just played against or someone else? It's been a really long year, I agree. Oh gosh. We need to draw dire tactics right now. Well... I think we're just taking a 9-ball here and discarding a land, and then we'll start chump blocking with Kudro tokens and try and race them. Although racing's gonna be a tall ask against this 0-4. We're dead in 3 to these triggers. Chop it down. Yeah, the general here is gonna start hitting their graveyard, which is nice. We really want to draw an untapped white source next turn, so that way we can exile both of their Kroxas before they can escape them. Maybe they don't have another red source here. Well, hopefully they don't have another red source. That's a third Kroxa. Yikes. That is unfortunately not gonna do it here because they're gonna Kroxa and make us discard here, so we can't just like peel a land for this. I guess General can kill Kroxa after they escape it at least. We've got that going for us. We can like sack Bodyguard and the token to slay it. Yes, the new Teferi gets an activation on every player's turn. So in a 2-player game, you'll get two activations per turn cycle. Very reasonable. Teferi. I think Teferi's gonna be fine. The thing Teferi fundamentally changes about the gameplay is, like, pretty reasonable, all things considered. I agree, Tentonhammer. I think in general, the new Teferi design is super fine. Oh, huh. Okay, so we just do this now, right? Attacking into the Citra Supplier here means they get to escape Kroxa again next turn. Maybe that's wrong, because Kroxa trigger does 3 and these deal 2 to me twice. Yeah, I think this was wrong. You're supposed to pump the brakes for a turn. Bolas Dragon God does not copy the static effects of Planeswalkers, only their activated abilities. Even if I find a way to exile this, I'm actually going to be literally 1 point short here. Although they have another blocker too. And we didn't just like, so we are actually playing this matchup twice in a row. I think I just clicked submit again. I think our main deck's pretty well set up here. I don't have anything in the sideboard that seems particularly good. Hey, Suno Tam, thanks for the 17 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. For keeping me around. Random question for anybody that plays Runeterra in the audience. Does Runeterra's ranking system work like Arena, where when you hit a new division you can't fall back out of it? Are there rank floors in that game like there are in here? Yeah, sweet. I hit gold 4 off stream last night, so we're gonna play a donation deck to start, so I might be flopping around a little bit, but that's fine, because I'm on a rank floor. You love to see it, chat. This is okay. No 1-drop, and the mana's a scotch awkward, but I think it's definitely in the range of keepable. We find that untapped land to get to go 2 into 3, the hand's very good. If we don't find that untapped land and we go 2 into 2, the hand's still fine. I'm actually going to bin Giant Killer here. I think on the play I can hopefully just run them down being aggressive. Wish. Hey, Zakalanche, thanks for the 13 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yep, it's a grouping shield. New Tef and Ominousy very well combo to make Krakens. Well, you see, 3 mana Teferi and Brazen Borrower think that you're very silly for trying to play Ominousy. I would be surprised if Ominous Sea is ever a very competitive card. Even once 3-mana Teferi rotates, Brazen Borrower will still be legal. Still a little bit off of escaping Croxa here, so that's nice. They only have 4 cards soul in their bin. Okay, they'll be able to escape it next turn. That's not this turn. We'll get to Tajic next turn and, like, beep beep run them down. Worth noting here that General's Enforcer is protecting Judith. That's gross. I think I'm leaving back Hero and General here. Am I? I don't want these to die. I'm definitely leaving back General. I think I'm leaving back Hero too. Let's start working Judith up to a 4 attack so I can cut through the Secret Keeper. There should be multiple Teferis in the set. Our legendaries here are indestructible. So even though the Citrus Supplier has Death Touch, Tajic is not going to die. Now, they can escape Croxa next turn. If they do that, I'll ban this Tajic, and then we'll Giant Killer to kill it, and then smack them with everything. They're going to get to deploy another 0-4 here, which is a little unfortunate. Yeah, we have 4-mana Teferi and Planeswalker deck Teferi. We don't have the other regular set Teferis yet. The 4-mana Teferi was a rare, right? Or was it mythic? Does anybody remember? I don't remember the rarity offhand. We should get, if it's like the Chandra set, we should get an uncommon, rare, and mythic one. The protection effect on Tajic is the indestructible from General's Enforcer here. Will I quit if they reprint Teferi? I mean, I'll probably quit playing Standard forever. If they reprint Teferi, I'm taking 15 months off of Standard. Whoo! You love to see it, chat. I mean, to be fair, they didn't really have a better play there, but it was still great. You still love to see it. Tajic secret mode activated. Can I keep this? Hero into Tajic's like a really good curve, and I have all my colors. This would definitely be a keep at 6. I don't know that it's a keep at 7. I feel like I can probably do better at 7. Or on 6. Perfect. 1, 2, 3. It's just curvimentary. What could it be? Little aggressive playing out Giant Killer here, but I think we're in the business of being aggressive, so... Tradesies? Ratchet Bomb. Put some pressure on the way in which we sequence our plays from here. And make it so we don't want to play out any more chews here, for example. Bot, thank you for the 15 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And C-Lab, thank you for the 16 months. Good afternoon, folks. I'm just gonna go ahead and Dire Tactics this, and then play General's Enforcer. Ratchet Bomb on 0 does kill creature tokens that aren't copies of things. These are 0 converted mana cost. So I'm hitting them for 7 here. And then if they blow up this Ratchet Bomb, they take 2. And then I have 8 power in place. That seems okay for us. Okay, I think I'm okay with them popping the bomb here. If they have a Redcap Melee as well, or another piece of removal for Judith, we get to play a bit of a game here. But if they don't have removal for Judith here, we're pretty far ahead. I think I'm going to hold the land here in case they Croxa me. I would like to keep my Giant Killer in hand. Maybe I'm supposed to play Giant Killer out here. This is like a 1-2-3 or a 2-2. Super rewarded for waiting. Chop it down. Chop it down. Chop, chop, chop it down. Chop, chop, chop up, and chop down. Chop, 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 chop. Great, none of those are creeping chills, so probably in the clear here. Pop, drop, and chop it, chat. Did we ever peep the daily deals today? I don't think we did. Stained glass nonsense. Thanks. Completed this. Am I done on the mastery pass? Did we hit all the levels? We're at the maximum. All right. As far as this deck goes, our games against the non-Teferi control decks felt reasonable, and the Teferi matchups did not feel very good. 7... We have 12 non-territory black sources. I wonder if we're supposed to just, like, play, like, the Lurrus and the Frenzy didn't seem to do enough of what I really wanted them to do. And I kind, in the control matchups, and I kind of wonder if I'd rather just, like, load up on discard spells for those. Rather than trying to outlast and survive their sweepers, their planeswalkers just take over the game so quickly. You went 0-2 in the open against every decks. Yeah, I think the answer might just be, like, load up on discard and hope for the best. I think this, just, like, board in. So, like, again, to think about sideboarding strategies here, Dire Tactics and Giant Killer aren't stellar against Teferi decks. So, these Duress and Kitesail Freebooter could come in over those. I'm actually not even sure if Thalia is very good. This is a card I've been pretty underwhelmed by. Yeah, I cut a Thalia because I think with these I have too many cards for control. And again, like, thinking about my ins and outs in the control matchup, I have 8 easy cuts, and this is 8 easy ins. So I probably don't want other cards in my sideboard for the control matchup, because I don't really have extra things that I'm super interested in cutting. Another thought in my head for me trying to make the control matchup better is that playing more 1-drops could maybe make that matchup better. Like, having double or triple 1-drop starts into a Lord can let you run them down. That being said, I'm not sure that there's other 1-drop humans that are really worth playing. I guess you could try something like Venerable Knight, but that doesn't seem very good. Maybe Fervent Champion's just fine. It says, we have 13 turn 1 red sources. Yeah, maybe something like Fervent Champions playable in the 1 slot if you wanted to adjust the curve a little bit. Like, if we got rid of Skyknight Vanguard, we still have 8, 17, 20 multicolored cards, which is probably plenty for this. So I think there could also be merit to trying something like this to make your deck a little bit more aggressive in the control matchups. They feel like the way you win those matchups is by getting under them. So, like, especially if I want to board out Giant Killer there, having 8 1-drops post board plus Duress could be reasonable. Yeah, that's a thought. Free roll companion could be fine. I don't think that seems terrible. We literally aren't losing anything to play it, right? What's that thing called? Oh, I have the filter on still. Damn, I was like, is his name not Jeg? I thought his name was Jeg. Yeah, this is actually just a free roll. Yeah, it could probably be fine. Seems like it could be okay. As far as the last couple of slots in your sideboard go, I don't know, round it out however you want. You could play a couple more flexible removal spells that aren't narrow, like Redcap Melee. You could play some Graveyard Hate. This deck is technically capable of playing Grafdigger's Cage, right? Grafdigger's Cage doesn't hurt us at all, so maybe those are the last 2 slots to round things out. This is fine against Winota. Yeah, you could play D-Spark. A lot of different things you could fill in. But yeah, I think this would be the direction I would try if I were to play more games with this and want to work on this. I think having another aggressive creature here could help the control matchup. Having Duress and Kitesail Freebooter to try and break up their sweeper so you can get under them more consistently seems good in the control matchup. So I think that's about what I would do. Alright, so that's going to wrap up our Magic segment for today. I am going to close out with some more of Riot's card game, Legends of Runeterra. It's a game I've really been enjoying in addition to Magic. We played a bunch of it on stream while we were waiting for our formats to unlame duck.